Hello and welcome to the next video. I want to show you the best and last linter tool in Python that you ever have to use. It's called Ruff. It's a linter implemented in the programming language Rust. Why do I mention this at all? Because it's implemented in Rust and not in pure Python code, let's say. It's much faster than other existing linters like Flake8 and Pylint. If we go here to the official documentation, you can see on an example on the CPython repository, which I have already cloned onto my machine, Ruff takes about 0.29 seconds, and for example Flake would take about 12 seconds to scan every file in that project. So Ruff is 10 times to 100 times faster than existing linters, can easily install via pip, so it's just a Python tool. And you can configure it in the pyproject.toml file, which is the default or the standard file to configure your Python project and your Python tools. And Ruff has implemented over 500 built-in rules and has implemented almost all Flake8 rules, a lot of Pylint rules already, and is in the future also capable of replacing isort, and has implemented a lot of Flake8 extensions. So if you go here to these built-in rules, you can scroll down here and see which Flake8 extensions, for example, are already implemented. As you can see here, we have some Pylint warnings, some checks for NumPy, and here these pyflags and pycode style and mccabe are the checks that were or are coming from the Flake8 tool, for example. So it has implemented Flake8 and Pylint, and at the same time it's much faster than any of these single tools. So let's go into the example. Here I have cloned this CPython repository onto my machine, and here on the right side I've shown you the CPU usage. You will see in a moment when we run these tools. So first of all, let's count the Python files recursively in this CPython implementation, which is currently 1935 files, which is a lot. And now we want to run, for example, Flake8, Pylint. For example, also we could run isort black, and then finally Ruff on this project. So let's start with Flake8. So here I will just run the time command and then Flake8 and the dot, which just means Flake8 should go recursively throughout our directory here. And let's see how much time this takes. As you can see, the CPU usage goes to 100%. So every core has to do something. So it's not about cheating here. And as we can see, Flake took about 13 seconds. Then how long does Pylint take? So let's call Pylint. Here we have to do this regular or this glob expression. And per default, Pylint does not use every core, as you can see. So let me interrupt this and call Pylint with the -j flag to set it on 16 threads, because my machine has 16 virtual cores, to make a fair comparison. And this also took about 12 seconds. Note, here for Pylint and Flake8, I've just used the default config, so the default settings for which checks are active and which are not active. So both tools about 13 seconds. How long does, for example, isort take to sort the imports? So this is not a linter tool. It's let's call it more a formatting tool, but we could also try this. About 0.17 seconds, but let me do this here to start recursively. So isort takes about 1.5 seconds. Okay, then black, for example, would take a lot of more time, because this will definitely format almost every file. I mean, I could start this, however, at some certain point, black will just hang up and won't do anything. So I could just abort this, but black would take a long time. I mean, it's formatting 1900 files. It's obviously not that fast. However, so we saw Flake8 and Pylint about 13 seconds, and Ruff has implemented almost everything from Flake8 and many more checks. So you would maybe expect that Ruff takes then about also 30 seconds maybe. No. If you call Ruff, so with the time command once again, Ruff dot, it will also use it might use every core, but it's already done before we would need to spawn more threads, let's say, because here Ruff took about 0.5 seconds for 1900 files to lint. It's much faster than Flake8 and Pylint, as I said. And as you can see, some So it found 18,522 errors, and 2,658 errors are fixable if you pass in this fix flag. And these 2,860 errors were fixed in 0.8 seconds, and not only fixed, but also everything was checked again. So this tool is stupendously fast, and you should never ever use Flake 8 and Pylint again. You should just use Ruff. Also, as a note, in the future, Ruff will also have implemented every iSort feature, so in the future you could also skip iSort. So that's what I wanted to show you. This is the last linting tool you ever need in Python. If you want to learn about intermediate and advanced Python, you can look into the video description. There I have a link where I have a list of all of my Udemy courses for a very big sale only for you. And then I would say until the next video, have a nice day. Bye bye.